Alright guys, today we're going to be talking about something less controversial than the last pick, but it is floating around in many Dolphins fans' minds. And it's been floating around mine too, because I do hear Dolphins fans say, maybe we should trade Kenny Stills. I literally heard somebody say this. Now, that's dumb for a lot of different reasons. I'm not going to waste time to tell you guys why. And I'm not saying that the person who's dumb is saying that. I'm saying the fact that if that did happen, that is dumb. I'm not saying you're dumb if you think that. I'm not criticizing you. I'm not doing anything. But to me, in my opinion, that's just stupid. This is probably one of the easier decisions in Dolphins free agency for a lot of different reasons, and we're about to get into that right now. But the notion that we just let this guy go is one of the craziest things, and it would be one of the most dumb things that Steve Ross has ever done, and that's saying a lot. It would be one of the dumbest things that the Dolphins organization has done, and that's saying a lot in the history of the Kraken franchise. So we're about to get into the reasons of why. Now this video is gonna be titled "Should the Dolphins cut Kenny Stills?" I'm gonna let you know my feelings right now, and we're gonna discuss if they should or they shouldn't. We're gonna discuss the positives and negatives. We're gonna discuss both sides. So if this isn't gonna be my opinion, my opinion is yes, Kenny Stills should be a Dolphin this upcoming season. I don't even think it should be a question, and it shouldn't be an answer. So nobody should ask that. I mean, I don't know why that's not. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's I don't know. Maybe it's the drops that he had. He had one terrible drop. He had another one, obviously. In a couple other games, he had one against the Patriots that was pretty bad. He also had a touchdown against the Patriots. But the Seahawks game, obviously, a lot of that's burned a lot of Dolphins fans' minds. But that's not a reason for a player, especially as good as Kenny. So let's go down some of the positives of Kenny Stills. So this past season was by far his best. Obviously, when we got him from New Orleans, his first year was pretty disappointing. It was very disappointing. That whole year was disappointing in general. But he had a terrible coaching staff. So we look at what he was able to accomplish in Adam Gates' offense. Not only that, but he's going to do nothing to improve on this. So he caught 42 balls. He averaged 17 yards a catch. He had 9 touchdowns, one short of 10, which would be crazy. And he had 726 yards. So not only does this man stretch the field for the Miami Dolphins, which is really, really important because our identity is running the football. Bring the extra safety down into the box as an extra linebacker, basically, is what that means. To help stop the run, we have somebody like Kenny Stills where it makes you think twice before you do that. Kenny Stills is 24 years old. That means this kid is. If I told a GM, I said this kid's 24, he's averaging 17 yards a catch, he has 9 touchdowns, he's $300 short of 1,000. Okay, there's no way you get rid of this guy. Okay, so I guess those are some of the positives. So we could go to the negatives. Negatives about Kenny Stills, I think early on in his career, especially in the bad year he had 440 yards. It's not as good as. It was very disappointing. Obviously, he was coming off 900 yards receiving when we traded for him, so it was disappointing. But one of the things I would say from that season, and you kind of saw it a little bit, I would say he was 100% way more consistent than that past season. But there wasn't some inconsistencies there with him. I think that had a lot to do with, obviously, he was a new receiver to Ryan. But another positive to this is he was one of Ryan's favorite targets last year. And he has been, even in his first year in Miami, he made plays. So he's so very, very important. And there's not a lot of negatives, guys. There really isn't. He's got good hands despite some of the big drops that he had. He fits the system. Adam Gase loves this kid. Okay, I'm serious. This is one of his favorite people on the team. I don't think that if out of everything, like, I could see Andre Branch going, and that would be sad if he did. I would hate that decision unless we can replace that energy and that enthusiasm that he plays with. That would suck. But if you get rid of Kenny Stills, that's bad. That's really bad. Like I said, this man, he made plays in divisional games when we needed him to make them. He made plays against the Bills. He made plays against the Jets in December when we needed him to make plays. He caught a touchdown against the Bills, caught a touchdown against the Jets. This man is a playmaker. He's 24 years old. He's only going to get better. One of the best deep threats in the NFL. And like I said, in my mind, I don't even know how you could ask the question, is this guy worth an extension, for God's sakes? And again, going back to one of the negatives about this, is we have so many things that are, this offseason, is very important to the Dolphins' future for a lot of different reasons. We have the looming future of Jarvis Landry, Kiko Alonso, or Shard Jones. These are things we're going to have to figure out this offseason. Some of those things we could figure out next offseason. We do not have to worry about this offseason at all. So it's going to be interesting to see what we do with Kenny. I'm going to be interested in it. It's obviously going to be interesting to see what we do with Brandon, but I already let you guys know how I feel about that. This is one we cannot mess up, though, and I'm serious about that because he contributed so much to the Miami Dolphins. For that drop that he had against Seattle, like I said, he made plays, and again against Arizona, he made plays to get us into the playoffs. He's going to be even better if we retain him, and Adam thinks he's a perfect fit in the system. And like I said, one of the negative things when he was his first year here in Miami was he was not consistent. We weren't happy with his performance on a week-to-week basis at all. We were very disappointed in him. That's one of the reasons we drafted Leonte Cruz. We traded up with the Vikings to get Leonte Cruz was because of the inconsistencies at wide receiver. We saw some of that early on in the season. They weren't very consistent. They got way better as the season went on, and that's the same thing with Ryan. That's the same thing with every player on the football team. Every single player. It got better, other than the defense, because it got unhealthy. But if they stayed healthy, they would have got better. But, like I said, everybody on the offense got better. The tight ends got better. Everybody got better, you know. The offensive line got better. That's obviously a health issue, too. But the receivers got better. Devontae Parker, obviously injured for most of the season, not 100% healthy. He got better in this offense. The future is very bright for this Miami Dolphins football team. And this is going to be one of the biggest pieces to keep, for sure. For schematic reasons, for leadership reasons. He's actually a really good leader. For locker room reasons, and like I said, one of the biggest upsides to Kenny is he's only 24, so he's only gonna get better. So I think this is a dumb question to begin with. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. If you do think we should do something with Kenny, if you don't think we should retain Kenny, let me know why. And that is going to be it, guys. I am Skaggs83, and I'll see you guys in the next one.